Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Her. This movie is directed by Spike Jonze, who previously directed Where the Wild Things Are, Being John Malkovich, and Adaptation. This movie stars Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson. Her is about a man named Theodore Twombly, played by Joaquin Phoenix. And the man is going through a divorce, and so he goes to work, comes home, plays video games, eats, and then goes to sleep, all by himself. And so he decides to use this operating system called the OS-1. And this operating system is like the Siri device, where it can help you with your problems. You just speak to it and it speaks back. But this operating system is unique because it can adapt and learn as if it has its own personality. Theodore starts using the operating system, and based on his personality and what he's like, the very first night he uses it, the OS system names itself, and names itself Samantha. That's where Scarlett Johansson comes in, because she voices the operating system. At first, he starts out being his secretary, and then develops a friendship with Theodore, and then eventually becomes his lover. Yes, see the movie and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Acting from everybody involved was great. Joaquin Phoenix is the main character. He really carried this movie, and I loved how he was such an interesting character that whether he was by himself, on the beach, running through the hallways of a subway, whatever he was doing, the audience felt like they were right there with him, feeling everything that he felt. And I loved his chemistry with Samantha, played by Scarlett Johansson. He was chatting it up with her as if she was right there. And I loved how she spoke the same way to him, even though they don't share a single moment on screen together. Co-stars in this movie were also really good, including Chris Pratt, Amy Adams, Olivia Wilde, and Rooney Mara. I liked how this movie was set in modern times, and so these actors and actresses weren't given big roles. They weren't blown up to appear as if they were celebrities. Like Amy Adams, for example. She has dirty blonde hair, and she plays Theodore's troubled friend. At first, I couldn't even recognize her, and that's the beauty of this movie, is because they all play small, realistic roles. The thing I loved about this movie was that it was set in a realistic place and a realistic time. Yes, a majority of the people carried around Bluetooth devices, and it was really cool how that worked, but I also liked what Theodore did at his job and how he did it. I even liked the scenes where whether he was running through a subway hall or just going to an environment he'd never been to before, or the beach. I loved how it seemed realistic. The lighting was there. The music was great. And I loved how it also made you feel like he was isolated at times, whether he was eating a meal by himself or just by himself in a cabin in the woods. You could really feel the emotion from his character and the surroundings. The music, the pace, the setting, the emotions, and especially the acting were all really good in this movie. And so, because this movie was just beautiful, I'm going to give Her an A. If you're a fan of movies where human beings interact with intelligent devices like Simone or Robot and Frank, then I definitely recommend Her. So until next time, guys, see ya. This movie not only asks the questions of, can a person and a computer fall in love? Can a computer think and learn on its own? But this movie was also grounded in reality, dealing with happiness, heartache, laughter, love, and there's some awkward and yet comedic moments in this movie as well. And I've told all my friends that this movie pretty much has something that any adult can relate to, whether it's work, life, love, or relationships.